Welcome to the happiest place on earth, where we always have the most cheerful music, brightest colors, and yummiest food. The delightful and happy characters bring nothing but joy with their bright smiles, making your Disney experience magical. At least, that's what we grew up thinking. But what if Disneyland wasn't as magical and happy as you think? What if there was a demonic and cryptic nature behind the music, the food, the stories? What if Disneyland wanted you to think it was a happy place, but the characters weren't happy at all and were being held captive, forced to perform and bring in money for the iconic seemingly happy park, which drove them absolutely mad? Hello! I'm so happy you came to Disneyland. After hours. Today, YouTube, we're talking about the word crazy. In the year 2020, it's just easy to call someone crazy. But some people you call crazy have some serious mental disorders. And in this point in time, it's almost fashionable to have one. YouTubers are notorious for claiming they have mental disorders for views. So when someone starts acting a little off, the audience squints and questions, is this real? Or do they just want attention? But there are people, you guys, that have real mental disorders that affect their everyday lives. Britney Spears is someone people love to call crazy. You drive me crazy. I just can't see. I'm so excited. I'm in too deep. It's even in her song. I mean, what would you say if you saw bald-headed Brittany beating a car with an umbrella? Exactly. And as I'm sure there are people that do this for attention, or beat cars because they are just so angry this is how they let out their anger, with some people, there's something wrong. Sometimes mentally. And it's not fair to just say this person is crazy. It runs a little deeper. I believe this in the case of Brittany. Because, well, you know what? Let's just start from the beginning. Born on December 2nd, 1981 in Macomb, Mississippi, and raised in Kentwood, Louisiana, Spears' interest in performing started at an early age. Ever since I was 7 or 8 years old, my mom would have company over, and I was always performing for everybody in front of the TV. Even when I went to school, I was always the weird child. I would go outside and instead of playing, I would have a star search. Eventually, Spears completed that goal and was able to showcase her vocal talent in 1992 on Star Search. At age 11, Spears got picked for the cast for the show Mickey Mouse Club alongside Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera.
I probably started dancing when I was like 3 years old.
Stop. Okay, music.
In September 1998, Spears released her first single, Baby One More Time.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Her music, along with that sweet Southern girl nature, drove her to the top of the charts, but we all know the stereotype that goes with child actors. Most don't turn into mentally stable adults, and Brittany started to get into some Hollywood scandals. In 2001, Spears started to drop her innocent image and came out with the hit single, I'm a Slave for You. In the same year, MTV Video Music Awards, Spears made heads turn by dancing with a 7-foot albino python around her neck and wearing a costume her audience wasn't used to her wearing. And just like that, Britney's innocent image was gone. She proceeded to engage in other actions that the parents of her young fans weren't too happy about. The iconic three-way kiss on stage with her past co-star Christina Aguilera and Madonna, a spontaneous marriage that lasted 2 days, a marriage with her backup dancer Kevin Federline, who she had 2 children with, but eventually the marriage ended in divorce in 2006. For 2 years, Spears started partying with celebs like Paris Hilton and checking in and out of rehabilitation, shaving her head, poorly lip-sync sluggish performances, charged in a hit and run, multiple hospital visits for psychiatric evaluation, until her father went to court and obtained control over Britney's personal, professional, and medical matters in a conservatorship because of her multiple mental breakdown.
Do you feel out of control in your life?
No, I don't feel like it's out of control. I think it's too in control.
Which brings us, you and me, to the Free Britney movement that is happening currently. The Free Britney movement has fans. Popular celebrities believe that Britney is being controlled, manipulated, being held captive, crying out for help through her social media. But first, let's answer the question, what is a conservatorship? A conservatorship is also known as a legal guardianship. It's granted to those who are incapable of making decisions, such as people with mental disabilities and those with dementia. According to many experts, a conservatorship was unusual for someone as young and productive as Spears. The 12-year conservatorship gives Spears' father, Jamie, a lot of control and prohibits Britney from doing some basic everyday actions. Britney's father controls almost everything Britney does, from the amount she's allowed to spend to telling her that she can't have children. People from the Free Britney movement are accusing the father of abusing his power and not letting Britney live her life because he loves the power and the money. During a status hearing in May 2019, Spears asked the judge if he could consider ending the conservatorship. Let's list off a few things that her father controls. This is connected to when she drove and sped away from paparazzi with her son in the driver's seat in her lap. Britney has said that she was young and dumb, and at the time she just needed to get her son and her away from the very aggressive paparazzi. So many fans are saying maybe it's time to let her just drive a car. Even though Britney has many successful businesses, performances, and shows, she has a weekly allowance of $1,500. This is why paparazzi catches her shopping at her local Target and Walmart. If she does want to get married to her longtime boyfriend, she would need to get approval from her father. No legal say regarding her music or her performances. Her Piece of Me tour earned $54.6 million. Her residency earned her $138 million. Even though she had extremely successful performances, her father pulled the plug for reasons that had to do with Britney's medications and his very own health issues. Fans found this very suspect because it was around the time where she asked the judge if some of her rules could be lifted. People from the Free Britney movement think that her father pulled this stunt just so it could look like she was not mentally stable and he could continue the conservatorship. Originally, she wanted to tell her story in a tell-all view, which quickly got shut down by her mother and her father. Britney's not allowed to stray away from a very strict diet or go to restaurants unsupervised. Can't hire her own personal lawyers. She can only follow the advice of her father's legal team. Her dad needs to approve any meetings with work colleagues. When working with Iggy Azalea, Britney's team had to raid her home to make sure Iggy wouldn't give her anything dangerous. He has control over her lady parts. Britney has said in the past that she wants to have a baby with her now boyfriend, but her father has to okay it. She's told the courts that she is more responsible now in her late 30s than she was in the past. Britney is worth $672 million as of 2016, but because of her conservatorship, she is worth $56 million, and fans want to know where all the rest of that money is going. So what does Jamie Spears get out of all of this? Money. $130,000 yearly salary, reimbursements in office fees, and 1.5% revenue from his daughter's tours and performances. And then in rolls the Free Britney movement. Fans start noticing that Britney's posts are a little odd. Glazed look in her eyes, forced smiles, dancing videos that have her fans feeling that something is just off. Pictures with the same expression, but different outfits. Britney's fans fear that she is screaming out for help through her Instagram. Fans commented on Britney's post where the caption said, "Not everything is how it seems." They commented and asked her to wear yellow in the next post if she needed help. And in her next post, she wore People then asked her to wear blue in the next post just to make sure that this wasn't a coincidence. And it's said that the next picture that Britney posted was this. Since then, the picture got deleted and then re-uploaded a few days ago with a different caption. Is it me, or you also get the vibe something is wrong? So no one picked up on the hidden 0.5-second clip of her looking absolutely terrifying and miserable? This head posture and this eye contact is referring to a person who is submissive. She obviously has a serious face expression for a nanosecond, and then someone is obviously telling her, look at me this way, smile. There's also a conspiracy out there that the woman appearing in these eerie videos isn't actually Britney. Guys, this is not her, because if you search up on Google Britney Spears smile, you'll see that she doesn't have this kind of teeth. And some of these conspiracies even go as far to say that Britney is already dead. I think Britney is killed by her team. Same pic, just reposted. Hope she's alive. If she would be okay, she would calm her fans down in a live stream with her phone in her own hand and outside. Or she would answer some of those comments. I can't write what I think what's going on. Is she even alive? Many celebrities have also spoken out about Britney's conservatorship and part of the Free Britney movement. Miley Cyrus, Bella Thorne, Cher, and even the show The Talk.
Nobody works for her for free. When there's a lot of money involved, nothing would surprise me.
Britney Spears was one of the top pop icons, from dancing on Mickey Mouse Club to dancing on stage with a large python and everything in between. It's inordinately heartbreaking and almost cryptic to see where she is now. I can't help but think about that South Park episode where the paparazzi was constantly harassing her, and her producers and the people around her controlled everything in her life for their own benefit, much like her reality now, which led her to try and inflict self-harm and take her life. The boys, who originally wanted to get pictures of her to make money, sees what a sad and depressed person she is. They're about to witness her take her own life, but before she could completely take herself out, they try to save her and get her away from the very threatening and combative paparazzi to live a happy and relaxed life. At the end of the episode, it's revealed as the town starts to chant that this was originally the plan, as if it was some type of prophecy that they must accomplish in order for their universe to continue in a normal fashion.
Why do you want Britney Spears to die?
Nobody wants her to die, little boy. We all simply need her to.
The boys are forced to let go and let Britney fulfill her destiny.
You mean everyone in the country wants Britney Spears to kill herself?
Britney was chosen a long time ago to be built up and adored, and then sacrificed.
It's sad, but looking at her Instagram, the facial expressions, the yellow and blue shirt, the constant control her father has over her life, repeatedly having to live and not grow from her past, I can't stop thinking that this might have the same end. It does happen in Hollywood quite often. Many of her fans are screaming that people just need to leave Britney alone and let her live her life. We don't know exactly what's going on in Britney's life. Maybe she needs her father there to really control everything, and maybe she doesn't. But I think most of us can agree that something is just off, and calling her crazy I don't think is very fair. Something's going on, and I hope she gets the help that she needs. So call us crazy if you want, but I think if you were in our shoes, you would end up the same, if not worse. We're holding up pretty well. But anyway, that story's over. I think it's time for me to eat.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex on. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared.